I'm Rachel Goaks. Today I'm going to do a quick video on, well hopefully quick, a video on how to make milk kefir. So I use a kefir grain and I also use raw milk. And this is because with the kefir grain and the raw milk you get 50 different types of bacteria that's beneficial for your gut, whereas with the pasteurized and everything like what you buy at the store and stuff, you only get 12. So 12 versus 50. I mean, that's a pretty big difference. So I like to make my own. I do like the stuff in the store, especially the whole milk ones. Those are so good. But I am going to show you how to make it from scratch with the kefir grain instead. So if you're going to be using raw milk like me, you have to kind of, if your kefir grain isn't coming from a raw milk and it's not very strong, then you need to strengthen it in a milk that's pasteurized first. Let it really get started and going. Let it, just change the milk every day. Keep, making kefir with it every single day for, for a while at least, until it seems like it's really nice and strong. It's like nice and mucousy and it's just really good. But like a healthy mucousy, because it can be like a non-healthy. So, anyways, when you make it, if you're going to be introducing it into a raw milk, you need to make sure that you have a really nice strong grain. If it's already coming from a grain that is being used in raw milk, then you won't have any problems. It's just because there is bacteria in the raw milk. It's perfectly fine bacteria. Kind of like if you make kombucha and you use honey, it can sometimes really damage your kombucha SCOBY, just depending. Because it's antibacterial and everything with the honey, and it kills the SCOBY because there's bacteria. I like the milk kefir because there's so much vitamins and nutrients in it. Like by fermenting this, you're putting bacteria in it that is unlocking extra vitamins and nutrients and amino acids and things, and they're adding their own as well. So also kefir is really cool because it actually, unlike yogurt does not inoculate your gut with bacteria. All it does is it helps clean out your whole colon and everything, and it feeds the healthy bacteria. So yogurt cleans out the colon and feeds the healthy bacteria, whereas kefir, not only does it help keep away parasites and things, it help get rid of the bad bacteria like yogurt. Yogurt can really help because it's cleaning everything out. It's kind of like the mop, it just kind of swishes everything. Well, it doesn't swish because it doesn't swish, but you know what I mean. It helps clean everything out. Whereas the kefir, on the other hand, is really cool because it's actually going to be putting those bacteria, it's the kind of bacteria that's going to stay in your colon. Whereas yogurt bacteria does not stay in your colon. So you need, it's really nice to have both, honestly. I prefer both because that's what I like. And also, things like sour cream. But then there's also other fermented foods too. But I just really like it because it adds extra protein. And I like to put it in smoothies, and it's really good to do a second ferment with a lemon rind or an orange rind. I prefer lemon a little bit more. And you can also let it separate more, and then you can take off the top, and that's kefir cheese. If you strain it a little bit more, then it'll make it even thicker. And then the bottom is whey that you can use to make like homemade soda pops, and you can you can ferment different types of vegetables with it. So like you can do beets, you can do sauerkraut, you can do all sorts of things with that whey, because that already has a bacterial ferment with it, and it's going to ferment whatever you put it with, which is really cool. That's with the whey, not with the whole kefir, just the whey. That's like kind of the clearer stuff. It's not like clear, but clearer. What else? Is there anything else that's important? I don't think so. Okay, so here's my kefir. I ferment it back here. I have some gingerbread going back here. This is just kind of where I ferment because it stays darker back there, and it's better to have stuff in the dark. But my kefir has been fermenting here for 24 hours, which is usually how long it's going to take. Depending on your grain size and depending on how warm it is, it will take less time or more time. So when it's colder in the winter, it might take more, like up to 48 hours even, whereas in the summer, sometimes it might only take like half a day. So right now though, 24 hours is working great. I'm going to pour this through here into here because this is what I keep my kefir in. And then I'm going to, I rinse off my grain. I don't know if you have to, but I do. And then I put it in here. So, oh, you want to use a strainer that's plastic, not metal, because metal can kill it, unfortunately. Okay, so I'm doing this one-handed, so I am blowing my funnel because I can't find my big tripod anywhere, but you can see how it's really bubbly. And you smell it, it's going to smell kind of yeasty, but in a good way, not overpoweringly, but also kind of, I mean, you know what, like, kind of like what buttermilk smells like, kind of like that. And see how it's all bubbly? My kefir grain is sitting right at the top though, actually. So there, get a better shot for you. I'm going to pour this. Oh, there goes my kefir grain. So and my kefir grain is actually getting really nice and big because I already got, my friend gave me a really big one and it's just gotten bigger and I need to split it soon. Okay, so I just rinsed it off. I didn't, you know, completely because I don't really need to, but I just did enough to where you can see how they're really nice and full. And they're just really nice and happy right now. They had a really nice ferment. So I'm going to stick them in there. And then I'm going to pour raw milk over this and let it sit for another 24 hours. Okay, so you want it to be full enough to where it's going to keep your grains submerged enough, you know, because you want that airlock with on it basically. And I did fill this up a little bit more than necessary. I usually kind of fill it up more until to there or even there. But you can also do a bigger jar than this. This is just the size I've been doing lately because it's been working to ferment every day for me like this because my kefir grain wasn't very happy because I was only fermenting it once a week. You can do that. Just make sure you store your kefir grain when you're not using it in milk. And when it's been like about a week, then you should change out the milk. Make sure that you freshen up the milk because what the bacteria lives off of is the lactose in the milk. So, which is nice because it eats the lactose, so we don't have as much sugars in it that can be like allergenic or whatever. But you just gotta refeed it every week. I mean, some people only do 10 days. I do a week just because I get my milk every week. And I like to give it some fresh milk when I refeed it. So that's basically all you do. I mean, it's really simple. It's just, here. You know, you just have to pour out the milk into whatever you're gonna store it in. The kefir, and then I rinse off my grains. I don't think everyone does, but I do. And then I put them in a jar with some more milk, and then I'm going to set it over here and let it ferment. And there's Thomas, because I've been doing this video for way too long and he's getting really impatient for a smoothie. So maybe should we make a smoothie now, Thomas, with the kefir? Okay, let's make a smoothie.